Have you ever wondered why poverty persists in a world awash with unprecedented wealth? Why does progress seem to bypass some regions while others prosper? At the core of these pressing queries is an enigmatic link between poverty and development. It is this baffling relationship that Johann Graaff dissects in his 2020 book Introduction to Sociology, Poverty and Development, published by XYZ Publishers. Graaff delves into the structural, cultural, and systemic factors that fuel poverty and investigates ways to alleviate it. He takes us on a journey through several case studies. First, he brings us to the slums of Mumbai in India, an area steeped in intense poverty despite the city's thriving economy. He exposes how systemic issues such as inadequate infrastructure and poor access to quality education entrench poverty. Next, turns our attention to Singapore. The city-state, despite its limited resources, has prospered due to efficient policymaking and capital investment, serving as a stark contrast to Mumbai's situation. Finally, Graaff highlights cultural obstacles using the Maasai tribes in East Africa as an example, where conventional customs obstruct formal education and economic integration. These real-world cases, drawn from Graaff's revolutionary book, offer a vivid portrayal of the complex interplay of poverty and development. In this segment, we delve into the sociological perspectives on poverty and development, guided by Johann Graaff's book, Introduction to Sociology, Poverty and Development. Starting with the evolution and definitions of poverty and development, we draw on Graaff's insightful examples. We then explore the social construction of poverty, examining its perception and influence by cultural, political, and economic factors. The role of economic systems in poverty, particularly capitalism, socialism, and mixed economies, is highlighted through pertinent case studies. Further, we discuss how social institutions such as education, healthcare, and family can impact poverty, using Graaff's concrete examples. The segment wraps up with a broad look at global development, poverty alleviation strategies, intersectionality of gender, race, and poverty, urbanization, and environmental sustainability, all backed by solid evidence from Graaff's work. By the end, we aim for a thorough understanding of the sociology of poverty and development, paving the way for our case study on Detroit. Take, for instance, the case of Detroit, a post-industrial city that epitomizes how economic structures can either curb or exacerbate poverty. Graaff's book provides a comprehensive analysis of this issue. In the chapter, Rise and Fall of Motor City, he scrutinizes Detroit's past as a thriving hub of America's automotive industry, then outlines its economic decline due to offshoring of manufacturing jobs using compelling statistical data and personal accounts. Reflect on the narrative of rural-urban migration in India, an issue vividly portrayed in Graaff's book. He shares the tale of a farming family from Bihar who migrated to Delhi for a better life, only to end up in squalor in a packed slum. Graaff aptly underscores how such migration tends to exacerbate urban poverty and slums, demonstrating the complex relationship between urbanization, development, and poverty. In Graaff's study on the feminization of poverty, real-world instances are laid out for understanding the concept. He highlights countries in Africa where women, despite being the main earners, earn significantly less than men, perpetuating their cycle of poverty. Consider the case of Rafael, a farmer in a remote Guatemalan village. His daily toil doesn't lift him out of the unending cycle of poverty. Contrast this with Nairobi's slum dwellers, industrious yet unable to ascend economically due to societal constraints and scant opportunities. Delving into poverty and development necessitates an exploration of factors such as inequality, power dynamics, cultural norms, and historical legacies. This is elucidated in Amartya Sen's Development as Freedom, where the significant impact of inequality on development is discussed, elucidating how resource scarcity hampers growth. In conclusion, the transition from poverty to development is not a straight path, but a complex labyrinth. This path is shaped by intricate social constructs, nuanced economic systems, and deeply rooted cultural norms. For instance, Graaff's work mentions an impoverished Indian village where outdated cultural norms prevent women from seeking employment, perpetuating poverty. Conversely, he highlights Brazil's innovative economic system that has uplifted thousands from poverty, a successful conditional cash transfer program. Delving into the labyrinth of poverty and development, we turn our attention to Nepal. Introduction to Poverty and Development by Johann Graaff holds significant relevance here for several reasons. Principally, the theories enable understanding of Nepal's local dynamics of poverty and development. Nepal grapples with societal challenges such as poverty and inequality. Graaff's book offers insights into the root causes, including his examination of income disparity, explaining Nepal's widening wealth gap and indicating potential solutions. Moving forward from the Nepal case, we examine the criticisms and limitations of Introduction to Sociology, Poverty and Development by Johann Graaff. Critics claim the book heavily leans on certain sociological theories, such as structural functionalism, often bypassing alternative perspectives such as conflict theory or symbolic interactionism. This bias might limit our understanding of poverty and development. However, Graaff attempts to balance by showcasing case studies that challenge these dominant theories.